now I can't wear my hoodie that says it's about a 7.
Let's change it to a 3.
Yeah, it's about a 3, but it's still okay if I just.
I just have Gaia's Cradle. That's it.
What are you, core? Is it gonna be called cordials because they're casuals? That was terrible. I don't give a f. Dun, 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 dun. Can't get the Kendrick Lamar song, so I gotta get it on my head. Just the dun 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 dun.
I should be completing the hearts this weekend, by the way.
Oh shit! I bought hearts.
I told you I was gonna make them.
Okay.
All right, whatever.
This motherfucker ain't listening.
No, they're like made of wood, so we can hand them out as tokens to like get like.
Fair enough.
I don't know what you made them out of. Did you make them out of paper?
No, I sewed fabric and stuffed them.
Oh,
all right, we can go there.
I mean, I only made 10 so far, so
are they numbered?
You've already got all of them.
Are they numbered?
Huh?
Are they numbered?
No.
Okay, the idea was to number them 1 through 30. That way we can hand them out as like, like take a seat
and get them all back 1 through 30.
I'll just give them to all the girls that work here.
Yeah,
hell yeah!
It's Valentine's Day.
Shut up, man. I have enunciation problems.
Oh, it's like
Valentine's.
Valentine's, yeah.
Fire alarm goes off for like no fucking reason.
What?
My fire alarm.
He was cooking some food and set off the fire alarm.
Stop cooking yourself, bro.
Yeah,
I was in the shower.
How much steam do you use?
He's making steamed hams.
Gotta open up my pores.
Hot fire.
Yeah, you might think of me as a psychopath, but all my showers, just so you guys know, end with ice cold water.
What?
Yeah, I know.
Fine.
I know who I am.
I used to take cold showers.
But
I refuse.
Back when I lived in Muskego and the hot water was just like stank.
Oh yeah.
I would just take cold showers.
Oh yeah.
Because it was well water.
Oh yeah, it smells like eggs, dude.
Yeah, that's why I was just like, fuck it, I'm taking cold showers.
You like smelling like eggs? I got the shower for you.
I like to end my shower with I go to cold or whatever.
Yeah, that's what I do. I just end it with like ice cold, just like freezing.
It's like good for you.
It's supposed to be, and then I do it because if I have any yawns at all, it'll get it just alerts the body. So I go like, yeah, we're not.
Because if I get out when I'm like hot, I'll fucking start sweating immediately. And
yeah, me too. I have the.
And my shower was pointless.
Yeah. Game changers. All right, just throwing this up on socials medias. I'm about to call Time Warner or something.
I feel like JB looks exactly like his logo. Blonde hair cascading down his face.
Does he have blonde hair?
No.
What a weird question.
I haven't seen him in a while.
Oh, like okay. I don't think that JB's ever done.
He cut his hair and everything.
I don't think he's ever used hair dye in his life.
No.
In fact, I think we found out me and JB got our haircuts the same day without trying.
Well, yeah. It's National Jeff Haircut Day. You guys all go at the same time.
It's fair.
It's just like, oh, why is this cost cutter's got 30 people here? They're all named Jeff. Like,
they go to call for the next person. Yeah, Jeff.
Someone here named Jeff? Yes. I gotta use his last names. I didn't print that. Darn. Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Woo!
You are listening to episode 187 of Paper Player. I'm your host, Tony, joined with a full crew today of Josh, Jeff, and Just Beans. And the best part is we got some hot news off the presses this morning, or this afternoon, I should say, about some brackets, which we will get into. But before we talk about all that, let's go over some stuff. Connect with us on socials is the best way to get in touch with your favorite cast by a lot. And the best way to do that is through our link tree. Just go there, you'll see a bunch of different ways to connect with us. That's the best way to do it. Like and subscribe. Bam. Today we'll be talking about the Magic Roundtable, the Paper Player Studios, cool stuff, modern meta, EDH tiers and tiers, lights, camera, action, the colorless problem, which I'm gonna probably have to put that to the back burner because that was gonna be a long segment, and Magic Con Chicago Reminder because it is in 10. It's like in 11 days.
Nine. No, wait. It is 10 days.
It's 10 days. Yeah, you are correct. Our thing is in 11 days, but we'll get to that. So, with that, did you guys get any Magic in?
I bought a bunch of bags or opened a bunch of bags.
Hell yeah,
Kind of counts.
But I didn't play anything. I don't have time.
Yeah.
Haven't played yet. Definitely excited to start streaming some standard starting next week. I've been streaming a lot more. Like I think I've been streaming the last like 6 or 7 days now.
Oh yeah.
What's the spicy new tech? What you got?
I'm working on a deck with Hazard and the One Drop Menace with Startup or
Nice.
Start Your
You're gonna
Engines.
try and make Hazard work?
I
like
think
we
you
were talking
can as
about?
long as you get it. As long before you play him, you have full speed. I think he's good.
Well,
It's
you can
just
play
a
him
problem
Start Your
of,
Engine.
and honestly, like him being a 2-drop, I don't think you play him before turn 3 because your goal is to play him, and then if they go nowhere to run, you hit it with like a Monstrous Rage, keeping it alive.
Mhm.
Right, so that gives you the ability to not
Yeah.
use it immediately.
That's very smart.
Yep.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Normally, what you have to do with Nemesis when you play it too.
Yeah.
But definitely looking to dive in some mono red. I've been toying with the idea of like trying out red blue now that we have Spell Pierce back in the format.
Yeah, one of the best cards to get.
Considering blue black is just gonna easily play that card too. So I think there's got to be a way to combat it, and playing it yourself doesn't seem like a bad idea, especially if they go to tap 2 to play.
Just play more creatures. I feel like, all right, I'm a creature deck. Suck it. Nice spell.
I mean,
pierce.
it already is. I mean, the deck's
Yeah.
running like 18 creatures.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
No,
But
it's sick.
looking forward to trying out some new stuff. I might try some other decks out too. Try to play some of the meme decks.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited to look at what standard goes. I'm gonna try that artifact deck because we got the affinity guy, the 3/4 and who's an artifact robot that flies.
Oh,
that has
yeah.
affinity. And then we also have a black infinity spell, and I don't think there's a white one. There's two affinity. Oh, there's a blue white one that's draw 3, gain 3. So
The black
those are all-
one's the one that's like Murderous Cut, right? But affinity.
Yeah. So it's when you play black, up to one, you can do it to one of your creatures, one of their creatures, up to one target creature or vehicle, and then it's an artifact that if you have a way to bounce it, which you probably will, you'll be able to do some silly stuff with that. And maybe you'll be able to cut some of the crap that was in the deck before, like a bunch of random ass gnomes. But yeah, so excited to do that. But I did play it in a pre-release. I went 3-1 at the pre-release. It was a nice little 16-man pre-release, so it was quick and nice. Speed is really easy to achieve. I didn't realize that you can get up to speed 2 like right away, meaning that you play the speed card. If you deal damage that turn, it goes up another speed. So like it happens like fairly quick. I thought in my head it was at the end of the turn that it mattered, and it just doesn't. It's a lot better than that. So that was actually pretty nifty. My deck was hot pile, for sure.
Pile.
It was. I
It's
saw it.
trash.
Yeah, I didn't have any. Like I had the green 1 vehicle that whenever you cast something 4 and under creature wise, it gets a 1/1 counter, and if it's 5 and above, it gets 3+1/+1 counters, and then it's crew 3, it's a 5/5 trampler. That card is great when it's on curve, and then obviously a late game card is just like, oh, this is a 5/5 vehicle, and you gotta hope. And then I had 2 good uncommons that I liked a lot. There's a Start Your Engine zombie uncommon that's black and 4, that's a 5/4. And then when you have max speed at the end of your turn, you make a 2/2 zombie. So that one's like really good because you want to get to your max speed, and then you just drop that, and then you're making 2/2s every turn. And then there's a elephant that is a 6-mana 5/5 that creates a 3/3. And when you attack while it's saddled, it also creates a 3/3 elephant. So those are like the 2 cards that got out of hand for me. Those uncommons, but people would just play like bombs against me. I did have good removal, which was nice. So it was like a C+ deck, but I had no way to like. My rares were the Raceway, the Ancient Tomb Raceway, which is like I have a double green card and double black cards in my early slot, so I couldn't play those. I couldn't play that. I had the blue enchantment that untaps non-land artifacts. Couldn't play that just because it's like this is a do nothing, or sorry, untap non-land permanents. I was like, I'm not going to play that. I had a red black rare that really didn't fix. I had 0 mana fixing for it. So I was like, all right. And there was like a 3/4 star your engines deal 1 damage whenever you attack. And then if you're at max speed, all your sources deal 1 additional damage on top of what they do. And then I had the mythic rare, which is green 1 vehicle. I had the Chariot, the Ezekiel's Chariot.
The black one.
Yeah, but 0 ways to discard cards, not even a cycler. I was like, okay, well, this card, I'm not playing a 4 mana 5/5 Menace vehicle that crews 3. I was like, this is just not going to be worthwhile. I don't think anybody's playing Mind Rot against me. And then, can't remember what my other rare was, but either way, I only played one of my rares. But anyways, it was a good deck. The dynamic of how the games go is very interesting because you're like, you're wanting to make sure that your opponents don't get max speed because cards get so much better when they hit that. So you make these like intricate decisions of like, I'll chump block and just lose a guy so you don't get max speed. And because you tapped out, I'll be able to attack and I'll get my max speed. So you're like at this weird parity where it's like you stop them from getting it and then you achieve it. And once you've achieved it, you get a lot of stuff. So I thought that was a very neat way to play. And there's no way to like abuse max speed, if that makes sense. So it doesn't feel like energy. Whereas like when 8th drift,
You can't like bust it by going crazy with it. It's just like you get 1 or 2 in a turn, and that's it.
Yeah, so it's very balanced, but you don't want your opponent to have for obvious reasons. Oh, I did have Gas Guzzler, which comes into play tap, which is somewhat relevant to why I lost one of my games. So I was like, oh, because I need a blocker, and this guy comes into play tapped.
Mhm.
Boo. So somewhat relevant. But, overall, I like the format so far. Everybody's saying that's gonna be blisteringly fast. I just don't believe that. The removal's good. There's cheap removal. Yeah, and if it is blistering and fast, like draft typically auto corrects itself, whereas everybody's going into like the Boros speed deck. 4 people are drafting a pot of Boros speed deck. You're gonna be able to like clean up by just getting all the cheap black and blue removal. Exhaust is a cool ability too. Exhaust plays a lot like Monstrosity, but if you remember that card or any cards that have Monstrosity, it just feels that way. Like they play so similar. The upside is there's that green uncommon that can let you exhaust a thing that's already been exhausted. So that card's like spectacular. That card, as soon as I saw it hit the board, I was like, all right, this has to go. And I didn't have any of them, but when I saw it, I was like, I have to make sure I kill this thing. But yeah, that was my previous.
Those seem really good. I heard you beat up on one of our fans.
Hell yeah, dude! Tony got bodied. He almost beat me. He had 2 rares that were better than my entire deck. I just got he mulled the 5/1 game and he almost beat me that game because he played an 8/8 trampler for 5 mana on turn 4 because he had 1 ramp spell. I was like, none of my removal in my hand can deal with this, and I have a bunch of 2/2s on the battlefield. So like, I had to like quad block and just be like, if he's got a pump spell, I'm dead. And then game 2, the game went long, and his rares were just like, he just was hitting me with haymakers. I'm like, I can't keep up with this. And then game 3, he kept a really, really slow hand, and I was able to get, start my engines really quickly. And then all my straight engine cards got sick value. I was able to draw a lot of cards off Gas Guzzler, and then I got that 5/4 zombie guy going, and it just basically had 6 more 2/2s than him. I was like, all right, I'll finally beat you.
Nice.
And then played against Rhino, which we had in incredibly close games, which was really fun. That was really nice. And then my other 2 opponents, my first round opponent, I think he was newer, so I steamrolled him because I give no fucks. And then my round 4 opponent, his deck was good. He had me. It was one of those games where it's he just had me beat on the board multiple turns. But I think it was an overstimulating board, meaning it was complicated. So he just didn't make the move, and I was like, okay. And he basically bought me turns, and he ended up losing a deck out because I was able to draw enough blockers to not take lethal. If he attacks 2 turns earlier, I have to throw away my entire board to go to 1, and then he's got 2 tramplers. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna die. But I think he just saw the board, was like, a lot of things are happening. I'll just wait. And then he was playing a card that was tapped to surveil. And because he was surveilling and just like bottoming all of his lands, it made him like 6 cards deeper than I was. So, but also gave him
Good old-
action. But yeah,
Good old control Tony coming out to play.
I wasn't trying to be a control deck. I was trying to be a max speed deck. It was
I'm
so
just saying
hard.
in that moment.
Yeah, I was like,
Block
okay.
until they deck.
Well, I was like, I can't get through. His creatures are better than mine. He's got 6/6s, and I have like a 5/4, a 3/3. Like, he got rid of my 7/7s because there's like a 4/4 trample worm with reach for 4 mana, and then you can exhaust it for 7 mana, and it's 7/7. Yeah, he got rid of both of them. I had 2 copies of that. He got rid of them right away. I was like, I'm in trouble, like real bad. I have like no late game reach. I have to like, and then he played a card called Switcheroo, and he kept taking my my cards. I was like, damn it. He's like, here's a vehicle that you can't grow. I'm like, damn it, this sucks. Yeah, that was cool. Yeah. Anyways, last chance. This upcoming Friday will be the last chance to get yourself in for the giveaway for the Boost My Bundle. If you don't know what that is, go ahead and check that out on our Facebook or Twitter. There's both ways to get it. All you have to do is follow what it says to do on the post. I wish I knew what it said, but I don't care at this point. And we'll draw. It's just, it tells you how to do it. It's long, lengthy, wordy. Just check out the video. The video is a lot of fun to make. I enjoyed it. And then also, by the way, I hold a world record, if you don't know. So I am the current world's fastest booster bundle opening person in the world. So beat that. Yeah, it can't be beat. So
Beat that.
yeah,
Go get it.
Yeah, try.
Take the title,
the
baby.
cropping of the arms and how they're like cut like a square.
No, dude,
Yeah.
he's supposed to be.
That's how
It
fast
makes
they're
me
moving.
think of like.
Okay.
I know that's what it's supposed to be, but it makes me think of like Shiva.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, they start in the upright position. They go backwards to blur how fast, and they come straight down. They slam down.
I see it, Tony.
Yeah, I know. I don't care. I drew anime speed. I drew anime speed lines. It looks good. If you beat my world
understand
record
nothing.
and end up being the new world record holder, I will send you a booster bundle. So, now you don't. You have to beat me and then also be the fastest. So if 30 people submit their videos of opening it up faster, the fastest person will claim the title. So good luck, because I'm pretty fast. So, yeah.
Pretty fast, he says.
I'm also in first place for the race to the release with other content collaborators. I couldn't hold it in. I was sick of being in third place, and I knew my packs were going to suck. So I was like, I'm going to blow my 2 NOS packs that I had left, collector boosters, just so I could have a little graphic of me being first. I will soon fall off that pretty quickly. So, 'tis life. What are you going to do, you know?
Yeah.
Oh,
Hell yeah, first place.
what's up? All right, on to cool stuff. Yeah, I don't know if you saw these, but all the secret layers came out. If you're interested in that, I think we talked a little bit about them last week, but they finally revealed everything. But the Spring Regional Championship promos, which is a Prosperous Innkeeper, along with a top 8. These might be the secret layer prize. Yeah, these are.
Yeah, at the bottom, yeah.
Fauna Shaman, and then also Living End.
So normally how it works is the Prosperous Innkeeper would be the one for joining an RCQ. The Fauna Shaman would be the top 8, and then Living End would be the RC.
Oh yeah, dude, these things rule. The Living End is real goofy. Too bad that card's just like not played anymore. Rest in peace. And Fauna Shaman technically is a searchable card. Might be too good. Yeah. There was
It's
other
on
things came out.
standard right now, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it is. I think it was in Duskmorn, or not, sorry, is it Duskmorn or is it the Cowboy set? I think it's a Cowboy set.
Maybe that, or it was in Bloomborough.
It's one of those. It's hard to say. It's cool art though
Yeah.
for it. The Prosperous Innkeeper, it makes me think of a Game and Watch.
Random. Yeah.
And this card was good for a minute. Like, it makes me think of like Zelda Game and Watch. But yeah. Ooh, the MTG metagame. So, did any of you guys watch any Modern this week?
Nope.
No. What happened?
Well. Looks like Mox Opal is the bee's knees, because 32 or 16 of the top 32 are breach decks. Breach. Yeah, what ended up winning it all was Amulet Titan. But the breach decks
Always
are.
comes back to this stupid deck.
Yeah, well,
Bro,
if
I've been
everybody's not
saying
interacting with
forever,
each other,
it's Primeval Titan is the problem, and you guys always gaslight me.
We don't.
I
And
mean,
then here we are. It always comes back to this deck because fucking Primeval Titan is.
they also got a huge boost
lands
too.
the
They got
free.
They got Green Sun Zenith, which is really relevant. Like that was a big one. Now you have 8 Primevals versus having 4, and then some. You have this list that I'm showing here has 4 Primeval, 3 Green Sun Zenith, and 3 Summoner back. So you're just like guaranteed to have the the Primeval Titan on turn 3 or 4 when you're about to pop. So yeah, and there's 8 different Amulet of Vigors, with 4 of them being Spelunking and 4 of them being Amulet of Vigor. So yeah, this deck is super streamlined.
Urza Saga.
Yep, it's a good way to search. Yeah, and then cards like Boseiju, Odawaru to get rid of those pesky blood moons and all the things that would affect you. So yeah, that's the world. And also shifting, like they've just like secretly gotten cards over the last like year that has just pushed them to like this. We should look at it, but only one of them made the top 32.
Or yeah, never mind. One.
Because it's a hard deck to pilot.
It is. So to argue that, so is Breach. Breach is also very difficult to pilot. And the reason why Breach made probably just a giant showing here is because if you don't know, on Magic Online for the last month, or since like the last update, which I think it's been 3 weeks, there's been an incredible lag that they're still working on, and they're trying to figure out why it's lagging. So decks that take any amount of time where you have to do multiple interactions, Nadu, Breach, you sometimes will get randomly hit with like a 30-second, 45-second lag time where you can't click on anything. And if you do too many of those in one game, you will lose the match. So a lot of people are not playing these decks online, so we don't actually get like an accurate representation of what's happening. Because if you play them, you're just going to lose because you just can't pilot the deck online because you have a 25-minute clock. And if 7 of your interactions take 40 seconds minimum, that's not good. You're going to lose. And that, Boros Energy's still there. And then Mono Black Control, which made it kind of a weird comeback. Oh. Okay, come on. 60 Swamps. Who cheated this in here? Honestly,
that's amazing.
I just think
Swamps. It's
60
just a
Swamps.
deck reg error. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very funny. But then you have the Orzhov deck, which is pretty cool. If you haven't seen that one, this is the deck that's beating up on the Eldrazi ramp because it's got White Orchid Phantom. It beats up on the Boros deck because it's got not only Skyclave but Solitude, so it's just got good ways of dealing with like removal. And then it plays this Overlord. If you don't know what this card is, well, with Philia, when you blink this, you get this card, and all it does is mess people up. So again, these Overlords are amazing. They're so good with blink effects. Cards like Emperor of Bone are in there, and then Recruiter of the Guard. People forget that this is modern. This card is really good. So yeah, and then you get this dog, this Flash Dog, which every time it attacks, it blinks something. So I love that there's an Aether Vial deck that plays no 1-drops. Like just like
Yeah.
like that's the same is true.
Who needs
for Legacy.
that? It was
Yeah,
so
it's-
funny when I was looking at that.
Yeah, it's just those days are gone. You don't want to play that crap. So that's your top 8. But again, everybody's calling for the Mox Opal ban, which I think is the incorrect ban. It's just get rid of the Breach, right? Let other like Affinity and other decks need Opal to exist, and to remove Opal like from this one that made top 64, to remove Opal from Hammer Time, which is a fringe deck, would be very silly. I think it's better if you just go after the Breach. If this card's not broken now, it will be broken in the future. It's just one of those cards. So
And it makes sense because Breach is like one deck. Like, I mean, it has variants, obviously, but like Breach is just one deck where Opal is like in multiple.
yeah, of course, it's just like, oh, okay. Well, they also have Mox Amber, so like there was a version of this that just played Mox Amber, but now it's like hyper consistent with Mox Opal and Grinding Station. So, yeah, get rid of the Breach and let Mox Opal flourish somewhere else. That's really what it comes down to.
Breach is just too good.
It's
And like
too cons-
Opal,
yeah,
like
too
you said,
consistent.
Opal is just like, it's good. It's
Yeah.
really good. It can work really well.
Yep.
it could be busted elsewhere, but it's too busted here. So you get rid of the one linchpin card, and suddenly the deck is way worse.
Oh yeah, you have to go back to Mox Ambers, which requires you to have a legendary creature, which means your removal is active. So if you kill one of the legendary creatures, their Mox Ambers don't do anything, whereas Mox Opal does not need any of that crap. It's just like, did you have Affinity? Oh, you do, because it's super, super easy. Good to go. So
yeah.
But yeah, so there's an outcry for Opal ban, because I think people like the meme of like, this will be the second card that was banned, then unbanned, then rebanned again. So I think people like that.
Grave Troll.
Yeah, so people like the narrative of that. And also, I think people are a little salty that like they don't want to spend $100 per Opal. So, if they ban this, everybody's like, "See, I'm not an idiot. I didn't spend $400 card.
If they ban it, it'll still be $100.
Yeah, I know. It's just one of those cards. I will be forever good. But back to the slides. Yeah, buy Underworld Breach. I think that's the card that if you're gonna ban one,
go.
Yeah, see ya. I don't know what the play to beat Breach is, other than like main deck Leyline of the Void, but we don't want to be in a format where that's acceptable. So,
last time we tried that with the graveyard deck, it didn't matter.
And the biggest news here, which is the Commander tier list, if you will. I should call them brackets. So today, this afternoon, Gavin Verhey and Benjamin, has it been? Or Ben, I don't remember his name. I'm sorry.
Ruined Magic.
Yeah, they ruined Magic. So they have a Commander bracket beta, which is the Commander matchmaking system that will be appearing in Chicago. So I think that is cool. That they're going to get a lot of feedback. A lot of salty dogs like Josh and Jeff are going to be there. They're like, my decks are fours.
Not salty, because I'm just going to play Commander how I've always played it. But
yeah, good move. But yeah, so there are 5 different tiers, and you want to know what grinds my gears, guys? The big one is that the tiers are flipped in the wrong direction.
Yes, agreed.
It is.
Oh yeah, I mean that was a complaint from the start, right? Everyone's like, "What do you mean tier 1? Isn't that the best?" And everyone's like, "No, that's actually the worst."
So I mean, you blow it. This is beta. You can still fix your mistake. So number 1 is Exhibition, which is just labeled as like your ultra casual commander deck, and the stipulations for that are like a few tutors and no game changers, which we'll get into a little bit later. No 2-card infinite combos, so you can play 3-card infinite combos, which I will be executing all the time. No mass land denial or extra turns, so 0 that crap. Get that shit out of here. Number 2 is Core, which is an average current pre-constructed deck. So the precons are better than Exhibition. So if you build a deck and you're worse than a precon, what does it say about you?
Oh God. Hey, forget you. I have tons of decks like that.
I don't give a shit. But from there, it's got the same thing of no mass land denial. You can take extra turns, you just can't chain them. So no 2-card infinites, no game changers, and few tutors. And they should just say like 3 tutors max, right? Like a few could be 2 or 3, and some people, a few means 7. You know, I've seen people say, "Can I have a few fries?" and they take 15. So,
15.
Yeah. So the next one beyond that, which is probably where this is the one that people are the most upset about, is the upgraded. Beyond the strength of an average precon deck, it's still no land denial, so no mass land denial, which includes not just Armageddons, but Winter Orbs, stasis effect, like all these encompassing effects. And they kind of have like a like, instead of listing the 100 cards, they're just like, if these effects are on these things that affect like 3 or more lands, you can't do this. No chaining extra turns. You can do late game 2-card infinite combos, which what the hell is late game? And then you can play a total of 3 game, and nobody looked at the screen. It's supposed to be game changers, but it says game changes. But yeah, 3, no more than 3. The max you can have is 3 game changers. And then there's 4 and 5, which is optimized and CDH, which is no restrictions other than the ban list. Go wild. I don't know why there's a difference between 4 and 5.
Agreed.
Whatever.
Yeah, they're kind of just the same.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess maybe it's because one is saying like play the cards that are in CEDH versus play a CEDH list.
I think those are one
Is
and the
all I
same.
can think of.
I mean, I guess you would like interchange like 7 cards.
You know
but
what I mean?
Yeah, I'm with you. CDH is its own
Like-
meta. It's
Like
fair.
CEDH, yeah, it has all its like
Good point, good
specific
point.
decks, and like maybe 1 or 2 cards get changed, but for the most part, it's all the same.
That's how
Um,
I feel about tier 1 and 2. Like I understand 1 is like no extra turns, and then 2 is like no chaining them.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like most of the time when I see people playing extra turns, it's only if they are chaining them.
Yeah. So
Like,
the last
one
thing. Sorry.
Go ahead.
The
Go
last
ahead.
thing before then I'll throw it to you guys to get your feelers about it is the game changers. So they have a list of cards which are considered game changers, and basically tier 1 and 2 you can't have any of these. You can have 0 of these. Tier 3 you're allowed a total of 3, and then tier 4 and 5 go hog wild. But they show white, which is an extensive list, but it's like Drannith, Magistrate, Enlightened Tutor, Sayer, Sanctum, Smothering Ties, Trouble in Pairs. So those are the white cards. Blue's got the biggest list, of course, because it's the best color by a lot. Cyclonic Rift, Expropriate. There you go, Josh. Force Will, Fierce Guardianship, Ristic Study, Thassa's Oracle, Urza, Mystical Tutor, Jin-Kataxis, Core Augur, which I didn't think was a problem card, but apparently it is. Black has Bolas' Citadel, Demonic Tutor, Imperial Seal, Opposition Agent, Tigrid. I didn't see that one on there. That's very funny. Vamp Tutor and Ad Nauseam. Red just has Jessica's Will and Underworld Breach. And then green has Survival of the Fittest, Voron collects Voice of Hunger, and Gaia's Cradle. And then multicolor is Yuriko, Kinnan, Winota, Grand Arbiter. And then colorless is what you would suspect is all fast mana. Ancient Tomb, Chromox, The One Ring, Tabernacle, Suck It Jeff, or JB. Trinisphere,
I think it's so funny.
Lion's Eye Diamond, Mox Diamond, Mana Vault, and Glacial Chasm made me laugh very hard. I was like, this is the card, huh? This is the card
I
that
mean,
people... Yeah.
It's a good card.
It makes sense with them having tiers that state you can't play like. I mean, I know it says mass land denial, but like that normally encompasses most land destruction.
Right, and then like you wasteland their glacial chasm, and they just
Bring it back.
Right, Crucible rolls it back.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough.
Here's my big problem.
I'm listening.
There's one card missing on this colorless list.
Mox
You know what it is?
Mox Opal?
Soul Ring.
Yeah, Soul Ring.
Whatever.
It's fucking Soul Ring. It's Soul Ring. They're missing Soul Ring. They can't put it on there because they put it in every stupid pre-con, and that would instantly invalidate their entire pre-con like tier 2 list
Yeah.
if they stuck it in there, because it's a busted card and it makes every game change drastically when someone goes turn 1 Soul Ring.
Yeah, I'm again, I at this point, like, we will never get to a point where we agree. So, like, and nobody's gonna agree on this list, and we already have
People yelling about it. Yeah, I know.
Well, the biggest one is like, so you're saying if I have Urza as my commander and I have 99 islands that I am considered tier 3 or higher, it's like, yeah.
Yes.
And it's like, do you see the logic that's wrong there? It's like, then don't play 99 islands. Like,
yeah.
I don't
then
know
play better cards and play with someone else.
Shut up.
Don't play Urza.
Like,
it's not that hard.
Yeah.
Am I going to say it's perfect? No.
Yeah. So
Is Blood Moon considered mass land denial?
Sure is.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I was like, why is that not on the list for red? But if it's considered mass land denial, that makes sense.
Yeah. So,
I don't hate the idea behind this. I really don't.
no, I mean, neither do I.
But
And it's obviously like the trial run. Like they can fix the things that like obviously don't make sense.
Yeah.
I just think it's funny that Soul Ring is not included in there because it would automatically invalidate all core decks, and that's a really stupid thing to me.
Yeah.
But whatever. I've always been, most of my decks are tier 1, or whatever bracket 1.
Sure.
Absolutely dog shit, trash, garbage.
Dookie.
No tutors.
Bro,
No
didn't you win like
combos.
2 of the fight nights?
No game changers, none of that. So I am fine with people. If more people decide to make dirtily decks like that and want to play me, I'll be happy.
Yeah.
That's what I'll say about it. If this helps people realize, like, maybe in my tribal deck I shouldn't be playing all these cards that do a million things and make combos.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that will be like, because when they talked about, when they broke it down specifically for that bracket, they basically talked about tribal or goofy tribal.
Yeah.
like weirdo tribal. Like I have all horse art in my cards.
Yep.
So it's like, yes, I want to play against more decks like that, and I hope this makes people want to build those decks.
I'm with you on this. Yeah.
Because more often than not, when I would sit down, the person that I would be playing against would not have anywhere near the same power level, even though they were playing like, similar deck archetypes or whatever. So, I don't know. I think it's a good thing. I'm excited to see what it does to the landscape. I don't play a lot of EDH outside of friend groups, but I listen to people and talk to people about it and whatever.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how it changes the dynamic of like an FNM or a like casual night.
Yeah.
All right, you ready for my hot take?
I'm listening.
I can't believe Drannith Magistrate's on this list, but Esper Sentinel isn't.
Esper Sentinel was once per turn.
Yeah.
Whereas Rhystic Study is
Fair,
every
but-
single thing.
I understand that, but like it is definitely a card that people still complain about like consistently.
Good card.
Yeah, I don't know.
For
Play
sure.
more
I also
removal.
think, like, I get people hate it and it's salty
Play more
because
removal.
it stops them from casting their generals, but I don't think Drannith Magistrate is a game changer.
I think it's oppressive. I do think
It hurts the casual
it
level.
locks
That's where
people out of the
that's- yeah.
game sometimes.
I think that's what
It
people get
locks
upset
me
about.
out of the game a lot of the time.
Yeah.
I also don't think Foreign Collect should be on here. I don't remember the last time I saw that card.
The blue one,
No,
Wait,
no,
Foreign
no.
Cluck.
Foreign Clucks. When you tap mana, you don't get to
green one,
untap
that's
them.
the green one. That dude, that card is busted.
Wouldn't that just be considered land denial?
Well, it's also
It might be its only unique effect. It might be like a one of a kind. So they were
It's
like, we're just
yeah.
gonna put this here.
it's definitely it's. I don't. People would say it's not landing out because your lands do untap. They just they get like a stun counter essentially.
For sure. Which the problem is the guy who bites the bullet and takes care of the Vorinclex is the guy who gets punished because he loses a turn.
Oh,
every
yeah,
6
because he
reserve.
taps last, yeah.
So I think that's why everybody feels like crap. They're like, oh, I don't want to deal with the Vorinclex because I'm the one that's not going to untap my lands, and everybody else is going to get a full turn ahead of me. So I don't want to do that. So I get that.
Right. The card is super good,
Yeah.
and normally whoever plays it wins the game because it doubles their mana.
Yeah. Yeah, all mana doublers.
Same thing with Jin-Kataxis, like whoever no one deals with it because they lose their hand.
Yeah, same thing. But those are like giant Praetors. I mean, you could argue that Elesh Norn's pretty annoying because typically when someone plays an Elesh Norn, like if you had any mana dorks, they're dead.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I don't know, the Elesh Norn doesn't creatures in EDH are
Disposable.
right, and
Yeah.
the Vorinclex and Jin-Kataxis are more similar to an enchantment than they are a creature, whereas Elesh Norn is definitely just an anthem kind of creature.
yeah, for sure. It's very
or a
it's
lord.
very game ending. Every time you see her, it's like, oh my god, this just dropped it. But yeah,
right. It normally just ends the game.
so I think the biggest argument that people are going to have is they want more than 3 cards. They want more
for the upgraded.
They want more than 3 game changes. That's like the big people.
Let me ask you-
three's not enough.
Right.
Let me ask you, what do you need more than that? Show me.
Most people want to play Mox, Crow Mox, and most
Right, they
people
want
want
to
to play
play all
Ancient Tomb.
the. They don't want any of the game changers to be colorless. Is what it is.
Yeah.
Which is stupid.
Yeah.
Because
Mhm.
those do speed up the game considerably, which is what a game changer is about. It's like
Mhm.
moves the game quickly or
Good luck.
Ends the
telling
game
anybody to
quickly.
clear That.
one of the
this
two.
is where tier 4 comes into play, though. This is why tier 4 exists and tier 5 is separate.
Right. That's
It's
what
not.
tier 4
It's
should
the same
have.
thing.
3.
Tier 4 should have 10
But what
game
I'm saying
changers.
is
Or tier 3 and tier 4. Tier 3 should have 3 game changers, and tier 4 should have 5 or 6 game
whatever the
changers.
number you want
maybe?
to put it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that.
I don't know.
because in tier 4 you could still run all the game changers and still play a wonky deck, whereas tier 5 is specifically you are going to turn to a tournament to try to win.
Bro, tier
Also,
3, you can
you're,
still do
like,
Thoracle.
free to just like not.
You
like,
could.
No one's going to have like you have to. No one's going. Who's going to enforce that you have to have a 3 to play at this table?
Right.
I mean-
So I think where stores, this is where I think the biggest benefit is stores get to kind of just be like, hey, we're a tier 3 store. Just be mindful of it. Like you can bring your high power cards in, but the majority of like the FNMs that we're gonna be setting up are gonna be tier 3. Just be okay with that. You know what I mean? And just like lay that out to people. Be like, that's just what the store is. Whereas I think that's really good because a lot of the stores that have like FNMs can now just solidify and say, this is our tier 3 night, and that's what we're doing. If you want to bring your CDH, you can. We have a night for that. But this night, so everybody's on the same playing field, this is what we're gonna do. You know?
Right.
I think that's a really big benefit for the stores.
Agreed, and it's easier to police because like you have this list right here to be like, right, you're only running 3 of these cards, that fits. I don't see any more than like 1 late turn combo.
Right.
No one's gonna look at your deck or whatever, but if we see that you're playing Imperial Seal, Demonic Tutor, and Yuriko's your commander, and you started with like Mox Diamond and all this.
Yeah,
other
you're like,
stuff.
okay, dude. Like bring it down a notch. So
Well,
That's
and
what-
again,
yeah.
what we've always talked about is like this is made for Friday night F&M. Like
Yes.
random people meeting random people. You say, hey, what's your deck level? Tell me
Mhm.
right now. Do you have 3 game changers or more? Do you have more? All right. Well, then I'm going to stick you in the optimized tier for our 35 person F&M, and you'll get a table with optimized people.
Right.
Write down on this list what tier, what bracket you are based on these little criteria in this little box.
Mhm.
And we'll put you in a group that has something similar so that way everyone can have fun playing cards of similar power levels together, and games can end as fast or as slow as you want them to.
For sure.
And
That's
also, Tony, you can't play Thoracle in tier 3.
Why not?
It is not a late game combo. That is an early game combo.
Oh, good point. Good point. Yeah. I mean, you can still have it in there. You just have to do it turn 9.
Yeah,
Which
I
is
guess.
it's
I'm guessing that what they mean by late game 2-card infinite combos. Well, I guess it says infinite combo specifically. Thoracle is not an infinite combo.
yeah, it's that one's worded oddly, but like
It-
when you remove the fast mana, you can't just like turn 1, right? You don't get that option anymore.
Yeah.
I'm honestly
I
surprised.
think the
Dark Right's
point of
not
it
on
is,
there.
is
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised Demonic Consultation wasn't.
Yeah.
But
Both those cards are bad in like a vacuum.
Yeah, for sure. They are. Like every now and then someone gets like a tainted pact and they're like, I'm gonna dig for the one counter spell that's gonna get us out of this, guys. Don't kill me. And then they tainted pact and they're like, all right, I got it. You know. But
I also
other
think
than
what they mean by late game is like, what's the earliest turn you can cast your combo without help? Like
yeah.
Thoracle is
Oh, I
what
say,
turn?
what's the earliest you can end the game?
Yeah, yeah. So like
Good
Thoracle
point.
will be what, like turn 3 with no help.
Yeah, no early game, no early 2-card combo. So I guess that would like, yeah, that's gonna be one where there's just gonna have to be like an FAQ, but like Thoracle can't
Probably
be here.
turn 6 or later.
Yeah, but even then, like it's if I guess the logic that you guys have is if it's achievable early, like what's the point of allowing that to just like I'll just hold this for 5 turns and then win the game, right? You know what I mean?
Right, because like that's just whatever. That's not fun.
Yeah,
I don't know. I had fun casting Thoracle combo.
most people do. It's no intentional early game 2 cards combos. Okay, so that's what your deck building should be. All right, good point. So yeah, you can't do that. And that's up to the rules. They need to just do like FAQ, like you can't have Thoracle here, and that should just be like some asterisks here.
Yeah.
I think where this gets the best though is I get to now just build apparently 8 decks where I have a casual exhibition, the best version of an exhibition that you can possibly have. Same with the core, same with upgraded, and then optimized and CDH are just foils of each other. Just like have like a these are my fun cards I like, and I want to also play powerful cards. And then I have a crushing CDH deck that's like for the format I never go out and play. Just have it. So I'll have 8 decks total, and then be done with it. Like I have my commander decks for life. But it'll be cool to see what an exhibition tournament looks like if someone were to run that.
Oh my god, there'd be so much. It would be amazing and terrible at the same time because the
Oh, it'd
matches
be
are going to
so
last
fun.
like
It'd be
15
awesome.
turns.
Yeah, it'd be 10 million years.
Bro, CDH tournaments draw all the time. Don't even go there. They're like, it's super.
Oh, I
No,
understand.
no. I didn't say draw. I just said every game will be, if you play it out, every game will be 12 years.
No, you in exhibition you can just
Forever.
play Craterhoof Behemoth and like nobody's got Force of Will or
That's also a card I'm
I'll
kind of
just
surprised
I'll
isn't
just play
on
my
here.
I'm pretty sure I can make my Perforos deck. My Perforos deck can be an exhibition deck. Go back.
yeah, hell yeah, dude. That's what I'm
That's
saying.
crazy.
I think that's the coolest part. You still get to do fun, cool shit, but
Right.
you're not forced to play 30
Right.
auto includes. You know what I
And
mean?
I would
Yeah.
still, I would body tables.
Which is kind of the point.
Yeah.
Right?
And- yeah,
And like
exactly.
aggressive decks are good. You know, swinging at guys are good. You know, dealing damage, incremental
Calling out-
damage is strong.
I could
All
easily
stores
make
that have
Cranko a
exhibition
tier
night,
one.
I'm here to come. I'm here to ruin those nights. Okay, I'm here to bring Perforos, bring
God,
Craterhoof
stop.
decks, and ruin people's
Stop.
time.
Please
Like, oh,
stop.
oh, they didn't ban elves, did they? Okay. Priest of Titania, ba-boom. You're dead. You're dead too. Yeah, I'm just gonna build like some crappy Azuri deck and just
And
go.
you still, in tier 1, you can still run a few tutors, it said, right?
Yeah, so you can run the green tutors, which are
Yeah, Jesus Christ, you can run Green Sun
oh yeah, one green sun and
They mean like
in natural order.
cultivate.
no.
Is cultivate a tutor?
No, so the tutors are specifically non-land targeted. So like they want people to be able
Oh,
to play all
man.
yeah. So
Whoa.
so you can play all your cultivates, you can play all your fetch lands because they don't want to like ruin people's mana base because a lot of people have tri lands that they want to be able to get and hit, and if you were to include fetch lands, it's specifically with tutors, it's non-land tutors. That's like what they refer to.
All right,
as.
well then maybe my lands deck is weaker than I thought.
Yeah, but yeah, it does not include lands. That's in there. That's in like the long article, and it's like a question like, what do you mean by tutors? It's like it's for non-land tutors. So things that go and get things. So like Green Sun Zenith is a non-land tutor. Well, technically it gets a land Dryad Arbor. So am I angle shooting here? Like, well, this one gets land, guys. I'm not cheating. Yeah. So. Like, for example, you would be able to play, I think the number is 2, unless you go Fuse 3. Then, like, my green deck would play Finale of Devastation, Green Sun Zenith, and then probably the Worldly Tutor. And that would be the
Over
three that I
natural
got.
order?
I think so. I think Natural Order, that's fine. Like, I guess it puts in
Because that just
aggressive.
puts Craterhoof into play.
That's fair. Like, both those are fine, right? Like,
hmm
Green Sun
I mean, I
Zenith.
guess they all put them into play, but
Yeah. Well, not the Worldly Tutor, but the Worldly Tutor can technically
Fair.
get land. But yeah. So I'm just gonna build like an Azuri green deck that's gonna be super hyper aggro, or sorry, hyper elves, and just be like, hopefully nobody plays a Wrath of God, and I'll play heroic interventions and cards like that, and then just play elves and have fun doing that, and then just watch people cry about how Craterhoof's not on the ban list, and then when they ban Craterhoof, I'll just insert the Raise Runner or whatever the other crappy version of Crater.
the Raiders on our board.
Yeah, the 3 other Craterhoofs that they have that exist. Apex Predator or whatever the hell they're called. Like, all those cards do the exact same thing as Craterhoof, it's just Craterhoof's the best at it. So,
All right, so we all bring in a tier 1 to Chicago.
yeah, I can make my Talrand and do it. I gotta cut the Cyclonic Rift now.
And the Force Will.
I don't have a Force Will in that one.
Oh, I thought you did.
Mm-mm. I have Force Negation in there, which is not on the list. So,
Kind of surprised Mana Drain isn't either.
yeah, that's a good point. Like, just go on our Facebook, go on any of the Twitter discords, or the discourse going on about it. It is just people bitching about you guys missed this card. How did you guys fuck that up? It's like, well, like, nobody wants to read. Like, I think a short list is the best list, and nobody wants to read 300 cards and have to like
Yeah.
catalog that in their head. Like,
We already have to do that with the ban list.
Yeah, and then for you, Jeff, it's really easy. You only have 2 cards you gotta like think about, like Jessica's Will and Underworld Breach. So you can still play Time Twister. You can still play Wheel of Fortune. There are people bitching.
You can still
that
play Candelabra.
There are still people bitching that in Tier 1 you're allowed to play dual lands because they're like, shouldn't price be a consideration? It's like, no, let people play things that they have.
Yeah, my hot tag has always been like, if you're gonna spend money on your EDH deck, buy a dual land, because a dual land's like nowhere near as oppressive as like a fucking Mox Diamond.
Right. So Yeah, it's just
Or before it was like a Mana Crypt was the $200 card.
so. If I had to guess, like the next
Mhm.
thing that's coming after this is they say there will be a ban announcement, and like there's going to be a banning announcement coming out in regards to Commander at the end of April. So, there's a lot of speculative talk on that now because people are assuming that because they have these actual tiers, that things that come off the ban list will automatically be a game changer card and will be relegated to not affecting casual tables. So, like
Is
Prophet of
Nadu coming
Crufix.
back?
Huh? Oh no,
Is
that was
Nadu coming back?
no, I don't think so. That one stunk.
Well, also it does the criteria.
It's just awful. It's a miserable card.
Think we should
Nadu?
pick up Jewel Lotus
Great.
and Mana Crypts.
Yeah, Jewel Lotus. Bring it back.
I still have my Jewel Lotus and I still have my Mana Crypt, so like I knew not to get rid of those. And they kind of bounce back anyways. Jewel Lotus seems like it's gonna come back because the card can literally only be played in Commander, so that one's probably like a safe bet if you want to go pick those up today.
Thing with Dockside Extortionist.
Yeah, Dockside too. And Dockside's like that card got dumpstered. It went from like $80 to $12. I don't know what it is now, but yeah.
Hell
like,
yeah. I'll have 3 cards to worry about.
Yeah. So like, I don't know, pick up a bunch of them as you see it, and then maybe pick up a Biorhythm. I don't know, get crazy, getting nutty about it. I
Still
don't
think Coalition Victory needs to come off.
know. We all do. I don't know what the deal is with this card. Like now that it's relegated to like a game changer, it's going to be stuck with the heavy hitters like I don't know, Trinisphere and like the One Ring. You're gonna be playing Coalition. We're like, good luck, you know. Yeah, so I think it would be fun to like look at the ban list and be like, all right, these can come off because these are fine. I'm sure you know what. It's probably too late now. The buyout's probably already happening on a lot of those cards because the anticipation.
It's like you can't you can get Docksides for like 20-ish bucks shipped to you now.
Yeah. So if you don't have a Dockside, like $20 is a reasonable price. Like that card has never dipped below the Commander deck price. It's always been like $40. Like just because there was only one way to get it. And yeah. That one could stay off. Mana Crypt's an aggressive one. But I'm fine with
I think
it.
Dockside's a good one to come back. I don't think Mana Crypt could come. I think Mana Crypt might stay off,
Yeah.
but Dockside's safe to come back, and Jeweled Lotus.
Yeah, both those cards because they relegate you to that high tier. So, yeah.
Yeah, they both get slapped on this list instantly.
Yeah, the rule should just be if it comes off the ban list, it goes into the game changer, and then like, if you want to play at your CDH table or your highly optimized table, your Coalition Victory, like good luck. Like
Yeah.
like I'll be playing Force of Will because that's where I'm allowed to play Force of Will.
I mean, I can, and at that point, if it's on the game changer, I can still play Coalition Victory in tier 3.
Yeah, and then like you're locked. Oh yeah, it's fine. But yeah, the One Ring is no longer allowed at casual tables. So posty, I'm sorry, your stuff keeps going down.
That man doesn't even play real EDH. He plays unbanned or no banned.
Yeah, and for the most part, people like just play with your play group, just like what Josh said earlier. Just do what you're going to do. It doesn't matter,
Yeah, this is just for when you're playing in public, man. Like,
yeah.
What you do at your tables with your friends doesn't matter. None of this does.
Yeah, you'll have the Command Fest, that where it's like matters there. Your Magicons, which there's a sea of people playing EDH, and you'll be able to say, I'm a tier 3, and it'll be fun to see. Like, it won't be fun, but people that are like gaming the system, like me, will be like, Green Sun's is actually a land tutor, so
I hate you.
I can have more. It gets Dryad Arbor, so that counts. But yeah.
So does every green tutor for
I would
a
make
creature.
it so the first time you cast it, you have to get Green Sun's Zenith.
Oh, you have to get Dryad Arbor?
You mean Dryad Arbor?
Dryad Arbor.
Seems like a win for me. I was going to do that anyways.
Even on
Yeah.
like turn 7 when you're trying to win.
Well, egg on my face. But yeah. So people think Counterspell on Swords of Power should be on this list, and List goes on and
But
on. I'm
no.
surprised that like Wheel of Fort. Like I was surprised that the wheels aren't on this list. But I think Nekusar is just like such a popular general that people never want those cards to like make it so you can't build a casual Nekusar deck. But it is fascinating that like you can have a Time Twister and a Wheel of Fortune in your tier 1 deck. Can be like,
I mean,
these aren't tutors.
I'm also surprised like Bowmasters isn't on here.
Yeah, I mean, apparently that card's only impactful on CEDH because that's where people draw all the cards. Whereas like in casual, like nobody's drawing cards. They're just like, oh, top deck my 30th land.
Gimme
I'm
decks,
playing.
yeah.
Oh man, I'm gonna cry about this. Yeah.
I do agree though that Wheel of Fortune should be, the card just combos with like a ham sandwich.
Dude, it's awesome. Card's great. Like that plus anything that like Notion Thief. Everybody's gonna have a bad time. You know, I guess it's like it's not a 2-card
Smothering Tithe
infinite
is the
combo.
ugliest.
Yeah.
I guess it makes sense that blue and black probably have the most outside of colorless. Just because they have like a history of having good cards in the past, and there's just so many good tutors in black, right?
Yeah, I mean, black's got the best tutors, and they're tutors that you can't see coming, so you don't know what they're getting. So there's like the element of like, did he get a creature? Did he get whatever? Whereas when
Yeah,
all
am
the
I
other
about to get
tutors,
screwed?
yeah, where all the other tutors you have to reveal like
Except
Hey,
Enlighten Tutor for whatever reason. Why Enlighten Tutor?
it goes and gets the best artifacts.
I guess.
Yeah, that's it. I think.
And like
yeah,
Tutor's artifact or enchantment, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you can see either
Yeah,
one
it
of those.
grabs Underworld Breach, stuff like that.
Yeah, and apparently Trouble in Paris is a great card. I've never seen that card
The
get
card's
played yet.
insane.
That's very funny. Yeah. Yeah, I guess there's 3 of them. Like you don't have Gamble on there, and you don't have what's it called? Worldly Tutor, because they're like creatures and lands suck and gamble. Sometimes you just gamble it away. So, yeah, that's
Gamble's
cool.
an amazing card.
I love that card. It's great. Did you guys know they're coming
MTG
up with
movie.
the Magic the Gathering movie is being produced by Legendary, and there's also going to be a TV series that goes along with it, and they're going to make a a cinematic universe.
I knew there was supposed to be the TV like anime or whatever on Netflix that's
Yeah,
been in production for like 30 years.
Yeah. So they're going to make a live action movie, and the TV series is going to connect to that live action series. So, I don't know how that's exactly going to be played out, but yeah, it's happening.
I just want to see The Rock dressed as a Johnny.
It's pretty good. Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, if I'm saying is this, they need to do. It needs. I'm gonna be an old man right now. It needs. I think if they want to grab people, it needs to be the original 5 planeswalkers, and then you branch off from there. You know, Ajani, Jace, Liliana, Chandra, Garruk. You know, start with all like begin where it all started, right? And then have them, even if it's like a 5-minute montage of them just like what happened to them, and now we're here, and then you can then follow all the other planeswalkers that you want, Tezzeret, Elspeth, all the other ones. But I think if you just start like with these 5 and just have them be like all over the place in the world, I think that would be cool. But you know, whatever.
I think it's crazy that they're now moving to a movie already when they've had so many issues trying to make the TV show.
Yeah, I think they're just handing it all over to somebody else. I think they're just like, here you go,
Take it
Legendary.
away.
You do
It's like
DC
wild
Comics.
because like there was a big hit and like the D&D movie did not do very well for them.
Yeah. I think
It was
Yeah,
like a big loss. That was like the biggest loss Hasbro ever like Hasbro sold off the entire movie studio. It was so bad.
yeah, so I think that's why they're just giving it to Legendary and let them as a studio fail, and all they have to do is like, we have just oversight, but you do what you're gonna do. You know, versus them trying to make their own like movie division and it again failing, right? So, but yeah, cool. It's it's the Magic the Gathering franchise. Live action Magic. I thought I read that wrong. I thought they were like automatically calling it a franchise. Like, you guys might want to just chill the fuck out. Like, but they did say there's a movie, and as well as in connection to the movie, there'll be a TV show. So hitting the ground running. Which
Nice. TV show. Huh? All right.
I'm
I'm gonna
down.
scoop up that what's that stupid name of the Arcane? That's it. Following League's footsteps.
Yeah,
Give me a
Arcane.
good TV series.
Yeah, just be solid and I don't know, like there's I guess for those who play D&D more, like what are the biggest things in D&D that are like this needs to be in the movie? Like what are the like bag of holding seems like really important that you would want to have, right?
Depends what level,
Owlbear.
right? Because if you're like,
like
you're not gonna be like, I need to see Tiamat, because if you're talking about
No.
level 5 adventures, it's like they're never fucking seeing Tiamat.
Yeah.
I think it's just the main like buzzword stuff, like beholders, dragons,
Yeah.
like bards are like super popular because everyone thinks they're edgy, like stuff like that. Like I still think the movie was really good. Again, it was just like the poorest choice to have it released when it did.
Yeah.
Like you're never gonna beat Mario. Like,
Yeah,
it's just not gonna happen.
That too.
Because like the numbers like later on like skyrocketed for viewing of it once it like went to streaming.
Yeah.
But
the
yeah, just like the
eight
buzzword
streams.
stuff.
Yeah.
Huh?
No, go on. Sorry.
I was just saying like the buzzwords, like I said, like
Magic
beholders,
missile.
dragons, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Deck of Many Things is a pretty popular thing too.
Yeah. I think
And now Vecna, because Stranger Things, but
Watsy, give me a call. I got an idea for you that's gonna be a hit for your TV show. It's very easy. It's real easy. All you need to do
5
is
Planeswalkers versus Tiamat.
no. It's just Tiny Toons. Or it's just
Tiny
like,
Toons.
or it's like Squee, Tiny Bones. Like you follow the adventures like Squee, Tiny Bones, Fiddlefip, yep, and then Loot, and then whatever the red dipshit is. Oh, that's Squee.
Norn the Weary.
Is that white? What's the white tiny guy? I guess Gideon. Or sorry, what was he before he was Gideon?
Elspeth.
Kithian, yeah. the 5 tiny dudes. Or no, Itsumaru. There you go.
Yes, bro.
Yeah, that would be a hit.
Bring my boy back.
The new one, Yoshimaru is the new one.
Yeah, you can do Yoshimaru. Yeah, just the adventures of like the tiny squad, and just have like I think everybody would be like, oh my god, this is like Grogu, Yoda-esque, because it's just cutesy guys, just on stupid adventures, and have your movie be them just in the background of your movie, just like, dude, we're not supposed to fucking be here. Just like, oh no, Fibblefif, why do we give you the map? Like, and then just leave, just have them get hijinks, doesn't need to be serious, and then yeah. Also, I think Squee is still relevant. I don't know if people like Squee. You don't want to do it Ragavan because I don't know. I think Squee's cooler. Anyways,
I think Squee might come back to standard with the new set.
Yeah.
Because we have the 4-mana one from Dominaria United.
We're not going to talk about this. Lastly, 1 week from now, you'll be able to do, 10 days from now, or 11 days, you'll be able to, if you're hearing this, be part of the world's largest pack war. I've already had people in person talking about that at the pre-release. I thought that was very cool. They're like, where is this? How do I pay to get into it? It's like, you don't pay. You just come and show up, and it'll be a blast. Like, what is this? Like, I can explain it to you now, but I don't want to. So just come and show up. So, yeah.
Yep, free stuff.
Free, cool stuff. And then you can meet us on Sunday, which is cool too. So
T-shirts.
dude, 10 days. That's coming up.
That was why I was like late. I was doing the prototypes,
yeah,
tie-dyeing
Yeah.
before the cast.
yeah. All right, Josh, give us some Truth Tuesday.
The truth is Patrick Mahomes is overrated, but
Agreed.
also remember to love yourself this week. I wake up every morning and I tell myself that I love myself. When was the last time you told yourself that you loved yourself? Remember to do so. And this week, especially ending with Valentine's Day, and it's Tuesday, my dudes. See you soon.
Valentine's.
I want to say the last time, probably before I was 18.
Yeah, you should do it. Look yourself.